Hi everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I wanted to share with you guys one of my favorite breakfast recipes, and this one is perfect for a weekend brunch. I'll be making my smoked salmon frittata with goat cheese and dill, served with a side of sour cream and avocado. And you guys are going to love how easy it is to put this dish together. We're going to start by browning some shallots, wilting down some spinach, and then I'll whip up the eggs with a little bit of cream, add in some smoked salmon, some dill, and fresh herbs, and it goes into the oven. You guys are going to have this breakfast ready in no time. And I love this especially for weekend brunch when you want something a little bit special, and that smoked salmon just elevates this frittata to another level. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make this delicious dish. I'm preheating my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm also going to preheat a medium-sized non-stick frying pan over medium heat. You want to make sure that it's non-stick so that you could take your frittata out of the pan. We're going to turn this on. Get that nicely preheated, and into the pan I'm going to add in a couple tablespoons of butter. We'll let that butter melt. And into my melted butter I'm going to add in about half a cup of diced onion. Today I'm using red onion. You could also use shallots. Just toss that with the butter, and we're just going to saute this for about 4 minutes until the onion is tender. And while I'm waiting for my onion to cook, I'm going to get started on the eggs. So today I'm going to be using 8 large organic eggs, and I love to use organic eggs just because they have a richer flavor. I'm going to crack those into a large mixing bowl. And I'm going to pour in half a cup of cream. You can also use milk, but the cream just makes this recipe extra rich. Season this with about a teaspoon of salt and some cracked black pepper. And then I'll grab my whisk and whisk this all together for a couple minutes until the eggs are well beaten. And these onions are coming along nicely. Now I'm ready to add in my spinach. Today I'll be using one 5-ounce box of baby spinach. I'm going to drop that into the pan, and this spinach wilts down really quickly. And it really reduces too. We're just going to use a spatula and kind of toss the spinach with the onion. And just let this cook for about a minute. And for today's recipe, I'm going to be using 1 pound of hot smoked salmon. This type of salmon is really flaky and juicy, and you can kind of pull it apart into little pieces. This is the exact brand that I get at Costco. It's a really delicious smoked salmon. This is the one that I always get. And once my spinach wilts down, I am ready to pour in my eggs. Just pour them right over the top. I'm going to use my spatula and run it along the bottom of my pan, and as the eggs cook I'm going to lift them up to the surface and create a little bit of volume in the frittata. And then do this for about a minute or two. You still want some of the eggs to be liquid on top, and this looks perfect. I'm going to turn off the heat and then remove this from the heat for now. I'm going to start dropping in my smoked salmon. I usually take about half of the smoked salmon, add it into the frittata, and then the rest we're going to add on the top. Oh, this is going to be so good. And I'm going to grab some crumbled goat cheese and spoon that over the top as well. Now I love goat cheese, but if you're not a fan of it, feel free to switch this up. You can use crumbled feta cheese as well. Add some diced green onions and lots of fresh dill. And this frittata is ready for the oven. It's going to bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes until the eggs are completely set. And as it bakes, the frittata is just going to get really nice and fluffy. You guys are going to love how it looks when it's done. And check out this frittata straight out of the oven. It gets all nice and fluffy. It does settle down just a little bit as it cools, but now let's add some toppings to dig in and enjoy. And once it's baked, I'm going to add similar toppings to the top. So I have the rest of my flaky smoked salmon that I'll add on top. A little bit more of this crumbled goat cheese. And again, if you don't like goat cheese, just switch it out to cheese that you do enjoy. Some green onions. and more fresh dill. And we can add some sliced avocado on top. Just going to fan this out a little bit, make it look all nice and pretty. I also like to drop little dollops of sour cream on the top. And serving this frittata is super easy too. So what you'll need to do is grab a little rubber spatula. You don't want to use a sharp or metal object on your nonstick pan. And we're just going to cut the frittata into quarters. So this will serve 4 people. Slide it underneath and then support it on either side if the spatula is not big enough. Just like that. It's super easy. And now for a little close-up so you guys can see what the frittata looks like on the inside. Check out that smoked salmon and then that spinach with the goat cheese. This is going to be incredible. And that's it for my smoked salmon frittata recipe. For all the ingredients and the recipe link on my website, make sure to head on down in the video description box. I'll have all the information down there for you guys. Meanwhile, let's dig in to enjoy. I love making this recipe on the weekends, especially for like a Sunday brunch. When it's just my husband and I, we love this dish. This is so incredibly delicious. I love how much smoked salmon there is, and then adding a little bit of the avocado, a little bit of that sour cream on the side. This is just incredible. If you've never made a frittata before at home, this is the recipe to try. It is so incredibly easy and delicious. You guys are going to love all the flavors here. Get loads and loads of flaky smoked salmon combined with the sour cream and the avocado. And I especially love to add lots and lots of fresh dill and green onions on top because they really brighten up the dish. And then you have some of that wilted spinach in there that really gives it some texture. It's just incredible. It's kind of like a quiche except without the pastry, without the crust on it, and so delicious. This is perfect for weekend brunch, but even during the week, if you have like 30 minutes to make breakfast, make this recipe. You guys are going to love it. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time with a new recipe.